What's going on, guys? Welcome to the #1 cannabis podcast. That's a lie. I just made that up. But welcome to Canaflix. On this week's episode, we'll be talking to Ben from Petra Tools, or better yet, Petra Grow. We're going to get into that today. But get your buds ready, get your drinks ready, get your snacks ready. It's going to be one hell of a show. We'll be starting very shortly. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Canaflix. The show's going to get started very shortly. We've been in the basement all day smoking on some fast bud genetics. Mostly the Gorilla Cookies is what I've been dabbling in mostly. But we're going to get started here very shortly, Greg. I'm high right now, probably, actually. Backstage, ready, waiting for you guys. We'll get started here in a few seconds, guys. Song kind of just makes me want to dance. I don't even know if we're going to come live here. Just maybe just dance a bit. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Canaflix. I'm Grower Joe. This show is brought to you by Fast Bud Genetics. And today, guys, I've been talking about it all over my Instagram channel. We've got a pretty special guest, but before we bring him on, let's talk about the giveaway. We have a chance to win some Fast Bud beans today. All you got to do is put in hashtag FastBudsGiveaway. But back to our guest, man. I met this guy down in Las Vegas this year, and he is one fucking hell of a character. Welcome to the show, Ben from Petra Tools. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Joe? Thanks for having me on the show, man.
Man, I'm pumped to have you on, buddy. You are literally one of the true friends that I've met through this community so far, and it was nice to connect with your wife before you got on too, and it's just kind of cool that we're building this friendship, man. Like, how the fuck have you been, man? How have you been?
Dude, it's been ups and downs, but like mostly good because we got a lot of exciting stuff going on over here at Petra Tools and Petra Grow. We'll get into that more, but the winter is kind of finally starting to get over a little bit. Like today, I was telling you earlier, it's going to be like 58 degrees and sunny. So like after we get off the show here, I'm going to go soak up some sunshine. And I'm super excited for that. So
your winter's almost over. So when did your winter start, man? Like my winter's just starting. We just had minus 50 weather here yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. When's your start?
Probably like late November, early December. So I'm in like right south of Denver in Colorado Springs. And we're at like about 6,000 feet of elevation. And so there's not as much winter. Essentially, any snow that comes on the ground, if that sun is shining, it'll melt it away pretty quickly, especially if it's warm enough. But so like the winters really aren't that bad. It's been the coldest winter that they've had here recently, which is odd. But it seems like it's coming to an end, beginning of February, which I am totally fine with. Like yesterday, I was outside running with only shorts on, trying to get some vitamin D.
That's awesome, bud. That's awesome, man. Listen, I'm excited to have you on, man. And you guys do have a lot of exciting stuff. And like Petra Tools kind of just came out of nowhere. So I found out about them recently. But you guys been around for a while. And then I started looking into some of your research and some of the stuff you guys been doing. And you kind of started out in the gardening game. So like, tell 100%. Us a bit about like where Petra started and kind of, we'll get into kind of where you're transferring, man. But like, how did Petra start?
Yeah, so it started about 7 years ago now, and it was actually an uncle and a nephew, and they both realized that they were both kind of fed up and sick and tired of just having, you go on Amazon, you buy some product, oftentimes from some company that's in China, and it's like you have an issue with the product and you have no one to get a hold of. And so the customer service is just garbage. So they were really fed up with that. They felt like there was an opportunity to kind of fill that gap in the market. So that's kind of where Petra Tools came from. And actually our first unit was the 4-gallon fogger, the backpack fogger. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen tons of stuff, man, with mostly this older fella in it, man. Like this guy Scott, right here. This guy here, man. Like who is this guy?
That's Scott. So there's actually a few of us that are like I guess you could say content creators, and I joined the team a year and like a half ago, approximately. So I actually worked, interestingly, I worked in our warehouse in Pennsylvania. So the company's based out of Pennsylvania, and they've really only started growing in the past like 3 years. But so I worked in our warehouse in Pennsylvania. So I guess I should back up a little more. So I was in college in Pennsylvania after the military. I'm sure we'll probably get into that a little bit later on as well. But I just kind of needed a side job, essentially, something to do while in college. And so a neighbor of mine, he was good friends with one of the founders. He actually now works for the company as well. You actually met him, Steve.
Steve's a great guy, man.
Yeah, we lived in the same apartment complex. And so like he was like, hey, can you come help us out in the warehouse? So it was January 2 years ago. I started working in the warehouse doing like shipping, logistics, technical support, customer support on the phones as well. So that's kind of how I got my foot in the door. And then me and the lady were moving out to Colorado. I was like, hey, do you guys have anything that you can do for me remote? And they're like, oh yeah, we can, we'll put you in marketing, essentially. So that was, like a year and a half ago. And then so I started kind of creating content. And dude, I never thought in a million years I would be on Instagram or, here doing this kind of like content creation, because I was never a social media guy ever. I didn't create my Facebook, didn't create my first like Instagram. Those are all like family or friends and whatnot. So it wasn't just like really something that I intrinsically would do for myself.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, man, like, here's the thing, man. You are a breath of fresh air when it comes to me. Like, I love your personality, man. I love that you're putting this fun little spin on gardening and not necessarily just growing weed, but like you have a lot of cool products, man. And one of the products that I didn't even know you had until today, and I'm hoping you'll send me some over that I can use this summer, is this fucking mulch glue, man. That's fucking genius.
Yeah, that's interesting, right?
That's genius, man.
Yeah. And dude, tell just anyone else who's out there listening right now, who's like, a lot of the people that tune in and whatnot are fellow content creators. And oftentimes we don't really understand like how important like that content creation can be and like the impact it can have. But dude, we had one content creator not associated with us at all that made a reel about that mulch glue. It went viral and we sold out like that.
That's so wild, eh? It's crazy the impact that the community can have, man. And just a bunch of us growing, man. That mulch glue looks pretty interesting, man. If you're looking for a mulch glue, guys, check that out. That's not what the show is. My mind kind of transferred there because I found it today and I'm like, wow, this company's being kind of innovative, man. And you guys are like, you're stepping in an area where realistically no one's showing support to the home grower. So like a lot of these people are ideally making these tools for the gardener, but you guys are kind of transferring over and making this like transfer into mostly just cannabis home growing, man. Like the fucking fogger is realistically made for us now, realistically, right?
Dude, it's it's insane because we've had that product for years, and it wasn't like that. Like it's gone through like at least like 6 or 7 iterations to kind of get to where it is now. But like that product, same with the 4-gallon backpack fogger. And I guess I can kind of explain like how we got into cannabis in the first place. And this was before I even got to the company. But as I was saying earlier, that 4-gallon backpack fogger, that was our first product at all. And it was mainly for COVID and spraying like different disinfectants and whatnot. But then like somehow a grower like got a hold of it and was like, hey, this is great for foliar spraying, like especially like outdoor larger plants, stuff like that. So then we kind of like accidentally slipped into the community because of that, which is kind of crazy. And then I joined the company, as I said, like a year and a half ago in this position now. And since I've been a consumer ever since I got out of the military, I kind of helped, I guess, get us into that community or, into the industry more. And like, so now now that the mini fogger is like an actual thing and we're like, holy shit, this is great. This provides a lot of value for the home grower. Because like if you're sitting there in a, especially in a tent and you're trying to foliar spray, whether it be an IPM, a fertilizer, whatever it may be, but you're using like a traditional sprayer, you're making a huge mess. You're getting stuff all over your walls and plants gonna be dripping. You're spending a ton of solutions. So if you're able to use a little handheld fogger like this, you're it's way more precise of where you're hitting. You get to lay a nice mist on the leaves, which the mini fogger has a output of 8 microns, which is just really small. And so you're getting really good coverage. You're not making a huge mess, and you're not like wasting all the solutions. So it's as oddly as it is to say, like, if you're using this consistently, you're going to be saving money in the long run because you're using way less of that solution. So
it's definitely a tool that's, and the money part of it is one thing, man. I mean, it's an affordable tool, obviously. The thing that I like about it, man, is I don't even use it just for sprays, man. Like, it's nice to even clean out your tents with. So I've got, you've sent me 2 of them. I think I was supposed to give one away, and I'm sorry, community. Like, I didn't give it away. I kept it because one of them I'm using for my crop defender, and the other one I use to, like, I put a soap and water solution in there, and I'll spray down my walls. So you get this real nice, easy little coverage, man. You're not pumping your fingers all day. And then you can also make coffee in it if you didn't see Natty's Naughty Nursery making fucking coffee with it.
Did you see his more recent one, though?
What, is this the joint one? Has he posted it? Did it work?
Yes. Well, so he yes, it worked. It's hard to tell on video of like the smoke coming out. So he like put some smoke effect in there essentially. He talked about it in the caption and whatnot, but he guaranteed that the results were there. I see you looking up right now. So
I'm searching them right now. I'm trying to find them. I can't I can't find them that fast. I need like a Jamie. I need a young Jamie. So basically, so this thing comes apart. He put a joint on the end of her.
Yeah, so you can take. So first of all, folks, this is not the intended use of this product. You should not be doing this. Yeah, don't do this. But theoretically, if you were, there's a hole right here. You just take that hose out, and a joint will fit very nicely in that hole right there. And you just turn that bad boy on and suck away, I guess, huh?
This is outrageous. We're gonna check on this.
There it is.
We got Natty here loading this up. This is wild. So he rolls the full joint.
Yep.
Pops it off.
Oh, boop.
Oh, I see now. Okay. Hooks what the hell, dude?
Isn't that crazy how it just kind of fits there very, very nicely?
Oh, you can tell it's got suction. You just can't see it in the video.
No, yeah, you can't really make out the smoke. And I guess that's because of the pump and that fine mist it's putting out.
Well, because the small micron won't allow that. That is fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, he said it hits, though. He said it definitely worked.
Chad, if you're not following Natty, you got to go check that guy out. He is a character, man. He is a character and a half.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
One of the things I like about the fogger, and I'm hoping you don't change it, because I know you got another model coming out. Some people are testing it right now, right?
We don't have it in the warehouse yet. We should have it like any day. So then we'll be sending out to quite a few people for some testing. And
my favorite thing about it, man, is the rubber dingly ball, man. I don't know if it's called a dingly ball. That might not be the scientific term. But the rubberiness of it, because a lot of them come with I've had one of these before from a different brand, and it's like a hard plastic, and then you got to like move your fucking shit around, and this gets every single corner. You can kind of just move her, right? So it empties out to the bottom.
Yeah, I was very surprised at how well it does of kind of utilizing all the solution in that bottle and really, sucking up everything in there and putting it to good use. Very surprised at how efficient that was.
Yeah, so and this is like, I think this is like your 4th or 5th model of this.
Yeah, and so we like it used to be this white thing, like, and this was 2 years ago, and like it just was a piece of crap. It would die, it would clog, and so we just kept going through iteration, slowly getting it better, and then it was weird because we came out with, or we started marketing it for cannabis like a year ago, maybe if that, and then like we had some problems with the battery. Because it was called an electromizer back then, and then we upgraded the battery, got that fixed, and so that's like the new mini fogger. And there was also actually quite a few things that got fixed or they got upgraded on it, whether it be the battery, the pump, the nozzle to help prevent clogs. They use like a different glue, like a stronger glue to help the wires stick together. So I guess that's one thing that's been interesting working for a company to where we have products and just seeing it from the inside is like like products keep getting better. Like they as long as the company keeps iterating, like that product keeps getting better. And it's something that I didn't really like have that good of a grasp on, I guess. Like before I was, in here on this side of the fence, kind of working and like getting feedback and then trying to implement and make that stuff happen and make the product better, essentially.
I think that's what's cool about Petra too. Like, so I just found Petra recently. So the only thing that I use from you is I use one of your sprayers. I don't even know which one it is. It's a smaller one, Ben. Like maybe like this big.
Sprayers?
Yeah, I got this sprayer. It's like a little backpack sprayer.
Is it a 2-gallon? Okay.
Yeah, probably a 2-gallon, maybe a 4-gallon.
Okay.
It's only about yay big.
Yeah, it's
battery powered. So I use that. That's actually coming up in my seed to harvest this month. So I use it for washing away my root system to show the exposed statue underneath.
Right.
And it was perfect for that. Then I used the crop defender and I used the mini fogger. But it's funny, like, so I start using products on my page, and every now and then you'll get people that don't like a product or they'll diss a product. And sure. I ran into that issue a couple times with the mini fogger, and people will be like, that shit's trash, or that's garbage, and that's this. And that's one thing that I noticed is, like, I don't think people realize what a company really is. And what a company isn't a company that comes out with one product and that's the best product and they just put that product out. A company is someone that puts out a product, advances that product, and continues to get better and better. So if they don't fucking make mistakes and they don't fuck up, they're never going to become a great product. But the cool thing that you guys do is you are involved in the community. You're taking feedback. You're putting tools into real growers' hands to test these. And when I met Steve and when I met you in MJ BizCon, you really like felt that energy, man, because there was questions that he was asking me that were more product related than personal related, and not really trying to sell me on the product, but more get my knowledge of how I used it and what kind of fucked up along the way. So is that fair to say? Like, some people have been shitting on some of these new companies that are coming out for no reason. Do you feel that?
Definitely. And let me actually show an example real quick.
Oh shit.
That was not what I was talking about. What's that?
That is awesome.
So let me put that back up real quick. All right, so you can go on Amazon right now and buy something like this. And this white one I think was like $23.99 or something like that. So this is essentially like a quarter of the price of the mini fogger. But like I'm going to be doing a YouTube video doing a comparison, because that was one of the things that we got a complaint on from quite a few people. It was like, oh, you can go on Amazon and buy like something similar for a quarter of the price. But like, it was actually funny because someone else, it wasn't even us, someone else had one of these other handheld foggers out there, did a side-by-side comparison, and it's just a night and day difference. Like, first of all, this thing weighs like 13 ounces, super lightweight. The mini fogger is an extra pound, and that's mostly because of the battery. So this thing probably has like some cheap old battery. I haven't done like a battery test on it, but like just feeling it and whatnot, the connections, just the quality control isn't there. The light on the front was bugging out on me earlier. So it's like, yes, you can go ahead and buy one of these. Sure, go buy something cheap. But I tell you what, it's not going to last you long. It's not going to be giving you like, it's like the power on the reach, essentially, like how far it'll go is like nowhere close.
I've experienced this too, man, Ben. I've experienced this too. Like when I probably about 2 years in, I made my own grow bag and I started producing my own grow bags, and they kept getting better and better, man. I kept putting more money into making them and making less money. And then I kept putting more effort into it. And all these brands just kept fucking stealing my idea. And you can go get anything made, and you can get it made cheap or you can get it made well. I mean, look at an automobile. Like, you buy certain brands, you're fucking getting a brand new car every couple years. You buy certain brands, you keep it until it's got 300,000 kilometers, right? Like, this stuff happens, guys, and brands take time to be something. I think we need to be aware of that like, partnering with brands is important to partner with the people behind them and like people that want to advance these products. So it's kind of cool that you're doing that. I hope that like whoever's on the other side of that product is a real brand that's associated with the cannabis industry, because I myself, I know for a fact I could go start selling a mini fogger tomorrow. Yeah, you can get them made. It's a thing, man. Like, it's 2023. Anybody can get things made now. But it's a brand that's tied together to it. So that's important to fucking keep in mind, man. I'm glad. I don't know how we brought that up or why we circled into that, but
I don't know.
I feel like I'm experiencing this. People are like shitting on particular brands, man. And it's like, it's almost like they think that I'm sponsored from these brands to like show these brands products. But at the end of the day, I'm using these products and then I reach out to these brands afterwards and I'm like, hey, I like your shit. Would you like to be part of my community? Like,
yeah,
which is unique, right? So,
definitely. I think like it's providing you value in your garden, right? Like otherwise you wouldn't be using it. If it was a piece of crap product or something like that, you wouldn't have been reaching out wanting to, to work with us, right?
Well, and I tell them too, like one of my, like AC Infinity, I tell them when shit's shitty. Like they gave me the first fans that came out, the first oscillating fans.
Right. I heard about that.
About 2 weeks in, man, I'm like, no, these aren't going to work. I can't show these. They're not good.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, what's wrong with it? This, and this. I even took it apart and I'm like, you should fix this. You should make this. The screen should come off the front. All of a sudden, the screens come off the front. They're fixed. Now they're a decent fan, right? They're a good fan. So
I got a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just a matter of like getting better, right? The world is obsessed with like picking people apart, but then there's also these people out there that are like taking advantage of what brands put in and all the effort. Like you guys are building this mini fogger. It's not done yet. There's a new model coming out. I think I'm going to be getting one to test. So it's not done yet, but all these other brands are trying to hop on the train and sell them on Instagram because they know how to do affiliate marketing and they know how to get it in front of people. So like, because you grow weed, guys, that shitty one is coming into your feed because some fucking nerd in his basement's making $400,000 a year off of us with no company tied to it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and it's a short-term business strategy, and like I think it's the wise thing to do is to actually give a shit about the community and give a shit about your products, and like if you do that and you really try to provide value, then like you're gonna succeed. Like it might be bumpy along the way, but like that is definitely a recipe for success, and not like the short term of like, hey, let me go buy some cheap mini fogger lookalike whatever off Alibaba, then try to sell it for, undercut the price and then provide shitty service and whatnot. Like that is, it's not a good way to go about it. It's a short-term strategy that's going to fail for sure.
Yeah. But you see a lot of people jumping into this industry, right? Because there is so much money right now in the cannabis industry, and not necessarily in the people that are the LPs that are growing it and selling it, but there's this really unique market of home growers because everybody's starting to get in there and grow, right? So we got to be careful, and we got to showcase brands that really want to make the community better. And I kind of feel fucking silly saying community because it's just growers, like making it better for home growers. They're the only ones I want to partner with. Like there's a few brands I partnered with in the past and I'm like, man, they were in it for a quick buck. They're done. They're gone. Like they disappeared, man. So yeah, I'm excited to try out the new one. But guys, let me know. Are you guys spraying? Are you guys using foggers? Is there any other brand we should look at? No, I'm just kidding. But also put in hashtag FastBuds giveaway because you're going to have a chance to win some beans later on in the show. Have you ever grown FastBuds, Ben?
Dude, I haven't. So actually, in a month will be my 1 year of growing. Just in a month. And so actually, I'm going to be getting some FastBuds sent over to me. I have no idea what I'm getting. But I'm super excited because all I hear is amazing things from everybody who has grown it. So
yeah, man, I think it's kind of cool. You got this really unique like journey, man. Like you're a military dude, so like, how the fuck do you decide you want to join the military? Like I come from Canada, right? So like military here isn't like we're not that we're not as proud of our military. Like I'm very proud of our military. I love the military. Thank them all for serving. But like it's not really like driven in the society, like go serve. Like it's no one really, I didn't really even consider it an option, right? I thought like you needed to be this like crazy buff dude like you to go join the military, right? So like what made you want to do that, man? It's a unique choice.
Yeah, it was a few things. Like one, was a horrible student in high school, got like a 1.8 GPA. So like college wasn't really an option for me. I did not see myself going to college. And like typically, that's like the only option essentially is like you go work, you go to college. So the family, I guess that at least my dad's side of the family is very conservative. So there definitely was, when it comes to just Republicans and conservatives, generally there's more of an emphasis and appreciation for the military. So that was definitely somewhat of a motivation from the family. But the main thing actually was I was 16 years old, and my neighbor, he came back from Marine Corps boot camp. And I don't know if you've seen a Marine in their dress blue uniforms. They're looking pretty damn good. And so he comes to the front door and it's just, it's coming back to say, hey, right after boot camp. And
you're like, fuck, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So so you basically fell under like really, which I would probably call like the typical thing, man. Like a boy becoming a man and being like, fuck, man, that's a man right there. Like I want to be a man. You know what I mean? So sure, that's kind of cool, man. Well, fuck, like you in a uniform would have been something else, man, because I have some hilarious comments, man, from our trip in MJ BizCon. So if you don't know, chat, I got a chance to meet Ben, and it was a pretty cool surprise. Like, he popped out of nowhere as we met, we hugged, man, we became like instant friends. We're actually going to show you, I'm going to show you guys a quick little clip from that trip, guys, and then we're going to chat about it a bit here.
Side note real quick.
And within really minutes, AC Infinity was offering to bring me down. So this video is brought to you by AC Infinity. And this shit, I didn't mean to put a sponsor in here. I was just showing the video. I grabbed on my first flight, 6 o'clock in the morning, and had to grab a rum and coke, and I had a limo waiting for me to bring me to MJ BizCon. Within minutes, man, we were linked up with some of the boys, like Rob from CLTV, Mr. Grow It, Pigeons 420. We got the boys here. Look at them, from the Stash Podcast, the whole crew, boys. We are in Vegas, getting it going over here. This conference has so much to offer, but being a content creator, I just wanted to get there and meet as many people as I possibly could. And maybe have a joint and a beer along the way. We're up in the Athena VIP, smoking some joints with the boys. Day one was so much walking. Do I recommend this for a content creator? Maybe not, but it was pretty cool to meet some awesome people. There were so many great people to meet, man. I got to smoke some weed on a private bus with Jack Hare's son and some of the awesome content creators that I met along the way. This is the funnest part coming up. We're going to show you that, and then we're going to Now it's time for all of us to head downtown and take over Vegas. Beer in hand, boots tied up. It was time to dance the night away. And dancing wasn't the only thing we were doing. We were getting up to no good. Stop it and start it up again. 2, 3, 4, Honestly, I couldn't have asked to meet so many awesome people. What a phenomenal trip. And I just want to say a huge thank you and a huge shout out to AC Infinity. Man, that is amazing.
Dude, that was so much fun.
How awesome was that, though, man? Because, like, me personally, like, in your very similar story, you're just like, I feel like you're a year in on your story for growing and like meeting these people. And I'm just a little bit ahead of you. Like I'm a little farther and I've got to experience, but like you kind of fell into growing in this weird way where it was initially like a weird job that kind of turned into a bit more. Am I right? Like you're loving this, are 100%. You not?
Yeah, dude, it was very unique. I don't know of anyone else who has a similar job as I do, right? Where I get to just essentially be myself, talk to people like you and other growers. So I especially like to be able to connect with veterans that are, medicated. Oftentimes they're medicating because they got fucked up in some way, whether it be mentally, physically, or both. And so being able to kind of get back to them is definitely something that's unique and awesome that I find a very privilege and satisfaction in doing. But yeah, man, I get to, I have 3 tents. I got a 2x4, a 4x4, and a 4x8. So for someone who's been growing for less than a year, I have way more than I probably should. I've fucked up like way too many times probably, and will continue to fuck up, but it's part of the journey and whatnot. So yeah, it's so unique. And like I get all these tools and like these solutions to use and whatnot. And so incredibly blessed. Absolutely.
Man, I found that like gardening has like, a lot of people say it's a hobby, man. I mean, this is like, controls my life now. It's taken over my life, and like it's given me this new passion for something that realistically is a seed, man. And I get to turn this seed into something that I medicate with. And then it's allowed me to like become myself online and create with people and meet new people, man. And like it's pretty unique, man. Before the show started, Chloe jumped on here for a minute, and like, it felt like we were just friends again, right? Like we're meeting these fucking people across the world. Like I'm going to come visit you guys and we're going to make some content together at some point. But like,
or like we'll meet you up in Lithgow.
Oh, are you going to go to Lithgow in Toronto?
I'm gonna, most likely. Yeah. Go
away, dude. Guys, chat. We all got to go to Lithgow in Toronto. I'm going to be in Toronto in March too. So I'll be in Toronto twice this year.
Damn.
So, and then I think I'm going to go back to MJ BizCon too. And mostly for like, I want to try to drive that event for like a lot of us creators to just go to. I don't think the MJ BizCon itself is like particularly like for us as creators. I think it's more for like business driven.
100%, yeah.
But I thought one cool thing is then we can go meet these businesses in person. And then also maybe we might be able to start like our own little conference down there eventually. Who knows, right?
And dude, that opportunity we got to go on the Jack Harrer bus with Dan Harrer and like, and try some of that. It was a new strain, right? That no one else.
Yeah, he wouldn't even tell us what it was.
Yeah. And like just hearing about the legacy, because I had no idea. So another reason that I've been blessed is like I get to hook people up with products and whatnot, and sometimes they hook me up with seeds. So I've gotten quite a bit of seeds, and I had this Jack Auto, and I mentioned it on the bus. I don't know if you remember. And Jack's like, "There's no such thing as a Jack Auto. That's you're full of shit, essentially." And so it was cool getting to like connect with him and hear that, and like he was saying to us that like, "Hey, you guys are the next generation that are going to be carrying this on, and like make sure that you guys are like doing it right, and you're caring for the plant and respecting the plant." And so like from that angle, I feel like it could be beneficial for content creators like us to be able to kind of be influenced by people like that who have been so ingrained into this community and this industry and this culture.
So humble, such a cool dude too, man. Like I remember thanking him, man. And I'm like, "Thank you, man." And he's like, "No, man. Like this was like a pleasure. Like this was a pleasure to have you guys on here." And it was almost like a dad like handing something off, and he's like he almost made me realize like we have a job as micro influencers essentially. Like we're all small accounts, right? Like we're not
except for you.
We're not reaching millions of people, Ben. We're not like, you know what I mean? Like we're very small, even people that are at like 700,000 people. Like the reach isn't there yet, right? So all of us as individuals, we need to continue to push content and to push shows like this and shows like yours, man. Like a lot of the people in the chat probably aren't aware. Like you run your own talk show called Fog and Grow, man. Like tell me a bit about that, man.
Yeah, so that's a show. It's hosted by myself and then co-hosted by Natty's Naughty Nursery and NorCal Cannabis. And so we just kind of sit down with growers, people in the community, and just kind of get their story and just kind of talk about them and what kind of got them into growing, or just kind of whatever comes up. We're to like a little bit of we haven't had an episode come up for a bit. We're going through some trying to get a new editor right now, but we still been filming, so stay tuned for plenty of episodes come out. We actually had Rob from CLTV on just recently, so that'll be a banger. That'll be coming out.
There's that handsome fella right there.
Hey,
this is what's funny, man. I got a funny story for you, Ben. So
yeah,
I post a picture of me and you down in Vegas, on the strip, and one of the comments was, "Oh, we both had vests on. We both had we were both dressed up a little bit." And the comment was, "Oh my God, Joe, Ben, you look like Ben if they bought the version off of AliExpress." I was like, holy shit, that's the comment of the fucking year, man.
Oh
comment
my God.
of the year. That's is ridiculous. Phenomenal, man. What a good time down there, though. So this Fog and Grow, man, like, if people want to be on the show or people want to, like, nominate someone to get on the show, like, how do they get in contact with you? Because I get asked all the time, like, How do you get on shows? How do you do shows? How do you do this?
Oh my
How's
God.
it work for you guys, man?
Let's go. Send me a DM. We'll fit you in for sure. Yeah, I'm looking to fill some spots. So like, yeah, just shoot us a DM on Petra Grow, PetraGrow on Instagram.
Yeah, right on this Instagram channel right here, guys. You can check it
up.
out. So Petra Grow is essentially going to be the cannabis version of Petra Tools. I noticed you guys did a lot of new rebranding on this. So we separated them just to kind of be able to focus more on growing cannabis to make these tools a little bit better, correct?
Yeah. So the company was originally Petra Tools, and it's just we've grown a lot in the past 2 years, and so it's actually getting split out a lot more. So Petra Tools is the tools. There's a Petra Max for like lawn care and garden. Petra Grow is specifically for all things cannabis, and then there's some other brands that are actually starting up as well. So there's quite a bit going on. So Petra Grow is just kind of one of those arms that is cannabis specific.
Man, I love all your energy, man, that you put into these. Like, I mean, full-blown costume. Just for a real, man.
Hey, would you ever be interested in spraying yourself green? It's a grass paint. It's just a green dye. It washes off. Chloe was there in the shower afterwards, scrubbing me off.
I actually got questions. Speaking of that,
but...
man, there's one video on here. I can't find it now, but I got a DM and they're like, did Ben break up with Chloe? There's some blonde girl in the video with you.
Oh, it's probably my sister, bro.
Oh, well, hey, listen, people thought, I'm sorry. Listen, let's change the subject.
Oh, it's good. No, I think if it was like we were like outside dancing or whatever,
that was your sister.
Sprays on her back. Yeah, that was one of my sisters.
Nice. So the good looks are running in the family. Shout out to sis.
We got blessed, man.
You are blessed, brother. You're blessed, man. But you got a kind heart too, man. You're a good person. I'm excited to connect. Now that I know that you're going to Lift & Co, man, I'm going to be excited to be down there.
Dude, it's going to be, because it's me, you, Natty, Therapy Grow.
Yeah, man, it's going to be good.
Do you know Niagara Home Grow?
No, man. I gotta meet him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping to meet him when I'm down there. I'm going to be down there in March. I think we're going to stay right at Natty's complex, his apartment complex.
Yeah, you're saying like one of the...
Yeah, we're going to stay in like one of the suites.
Yeah.
Rachel still might come, so if Rachel comes, then we're probably just going to get a hotel a little bit closer, because then maybe the kids might come, and then they'll connect with her aunt while I'm doing the event and stuff. So it should be interesting, man. If anybody in the chat's going to be there, guys, make sure you link up with me, because I'd love to meet as many people as possible. It's been a great experience so far, man. And shout out to the chat, guys. Make sure you put in #FastBuds giveaway for a chance to win some beans. Listen, man, I'm getting a lot of questions since I posted a video on the Crop Defender. So I've got a couple questions that I'm going to ask you, and hopefully you can answer them.
Fire away. Number
one, a lot of people are like asking if these sprays are harmful in any way.
Yeah. So, you definitely don't want to like inhale it. Like imagine you had the mini fogger on, or like you're fucking real. Don't drink the Crop Defender.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, no shit. Don't fucking drink it. But it's just like, if you look at the ingredients, it's soybean oil, it's corn oil. These are all things used in cooking that we consume all the time. This sodium lauryl sulfate is like the emulsifier, or it's it helps the water and the oil mix together. You don't want to consume that. It's a little bit of peppermint oil. That's not going to do you any harm. But consuming it, like drinking it, is one thing. Inhaling it is another thing. So yeah, you definitely don't want to like sit there and like breathe it in as you're like fogging or like anything crazy like that. But like it's Clean Green certified. A lot of people don't know about that certification, and I thought it'd be way more well known in the industry, at least like from growers on Instagram. So here in Colorado, one of the dispensaries that I go to is Maggie's Farm, and they have like their cannabis is Clean Green certified. And since there's no, in the US, there's no USDA certified organic cannabis, so this organization started up something with like the same guidelines essentially, and it's called Clean Green certification. So they apply by essentially the same guidelines as the USDA organic program, but it's just a way to like kind of say that your cannabis or your inputs that you're using are clean green certified. And so like the Crop Defender is clean green certified. We went through their process and whatnot. They checked out all the ingredients, and it checked out. So it's not like full of like synthetic chemicals or like anything like that. It's going to be messing you up. It's all natural ingredients.
My kind of rule of thumb too, man, for anybody that's doing what I'm going to be doing with it, I'm not spraying during flower, man.
Right.
If I have pests in my room, I'm not fucking flipping to flower. And then if I get pests during flower, I'm getting rid of that damn flower, man. And I'm starting over. That's just me. That's my rule that I follow. So like people that are spraying in flower, I'd probably do something completely natural that I know exactly what's in it. Not to like take Petra or Crop Defender out of the equation, but like at that point, like I'm just going to try to do something real small and see if it makes them go away. Like, I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of effort into it because at that point I'm canceling. I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. I'm starting over, right? Do you have people that are spraying this during flower?
Yeah. It's not a lot. I even sprayed in flower a little bit. And like, I just recently harvested my second run. I should get some of it sent in for testing to see if it has any residues left behind, because like it's a lot of people are super scared and hesitant to spray anything in flower for multiple reasons. Like, one, you increase the chance of bud rot. You're adding more moisture to those buds. They're worried that they're going to impact the trichome development, and then it's going to like leave residue and taste. It's going to impact the taste.
Yeah.
I think, it's one of the things is like what concentration are you using, right? If you're like using 100% pure Crop Defender, then like, yeah, you're really drenching stuff on there. But if you're sticking to like the 3 milliliters, which is like the smallest amount you'd want to use, I can't say for sure, right? The jury's out on like whether that is impacting those things, but that's the concern for people. And so what I always tell people is like, do what is best for you and best for your grow. If you don't want to spray that in flower, you're worried about those things, then don't do it. Just make sure that your other kind of IPM practices are in check, so you can mitigate having pest problems. So whether that's like changing your clothes before you go in your grow, or like taking a shower. Like, I know a lot of people really go into a lot of depth when it comes to their IPM practices, and then like that spray is kind of seen as that last kind of line of defense, or like that last thing that they do. But I think what you were saying is like, before you flip into flower, like, yeah, make sure that your pest problem is completely under control. Like you don't have one, because you definitely, I mean, the ideal thing is probably not to spray anything on those buds, because you are smoking those, right?
Yeah, I think if you're going into flower and you get pests, like when I have flower, man, when I'm in flower, when I mow my lawn, I'm not going to my grow room afterwards. You can't be doing that. You can't be going in there with sock feet. Like, I go in there barefoot. I take my socks off. Like, I have like 4 or 5 pairs of socks down here in the basement on the floor at a time. Like, it's outrageous, man. I've got a bit of a problem. But like, you need to take precaution when you're in flower, and I think that's the main thing. Now, one of the products that I want to try from you guys is your plant fuel, man. I had a couple guys that are using that. Like, you're getting pretty good results on that for being a fairly new product, right?
Yeah, we've I've been hearing, we have this one guy, Krusty Socks 1975. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's doing a side-by-side comparison, growing against like another nutrient company right now, and seeing good results. But
Krusty Socks, that sounds like if OnlyFans was around when I was in high school, I would have made that account.
Right? Krusty Socks.
Oh, shit.
Though. But yeah, this is something new that it's new to us. We're super blessed to be able to have gotten hooked up with this guy who just is like this boy genius. I actually met him a year ago. So he makes, say, like the Myco Giant over here, the mycorrhizal fungi. He makes the plant fuel and the fish's seaweed fertilizer. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
Which is another cool product. And like, we've just been super blessed to have someone who's like very, very into the weeds and like the cutting edge technology when it comes to making this stuff. And we're actually I don't know if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. We're actually getting Crop Defender slightly reformulated by him because it was made by someone else originally, and so it's actually gonna get even better, which is exciting, and that's gonna be coming down the line as well. We got a lot of exciting stuff going on this year.
You know what's funny? This is like the worst part and the best part about a company, right? Because some people look at this and they're like, how do all these guys coming up with these new products so damn quick? Listen, when you're a good company and you hire the right people that know how to do these things, it's not hard to come up with new products. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, people look at companies in the wrong way because so many people can like turn into a millionaire overnight on Amazon now. But like when you have the right people that are doing actual formulas, they know these plants. Just because Ben's only been growing for a year doesn't mean there's someone in the background that made this, right? Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like people look at companies in the wrong way sometimes. I hate it. It's pretty frustrating. But mostly in cannabis.
I think we are brand new at the solution game, right? Like our bread and butter is the tools. And so like the solutions are new to us. So I think like where our really good kind of advantage is, especially for the home grower, is like a lot of these inputs are super expensive. So if I can if I can provide a gallon of this plant fuel for you for like $80, like, and that's going to last you, that's going to be able to feed like 6-7 plants all the way through harvest. Like that's a pretty good deal, I think.
I think it's a great deal, man. I think it's a great deal. I love brands that are trying to do that too, because like these nutrients and these solutions that people are selling, they take a lot of fucking money to ship because they're liquid, right? So, but a lot of people are trying to make these formulas more concentrated so that people can get longer time out of them and they're not wasting fucking plastic and shit like that.
Yeah. I like the idea of us looking into doing powdered form. So yeah, we could just ship in powder instead of having the liquid, which exactly.
That's the future. I think we're getting there eventually, man. Speaking of the future, shout out Sebastian Good 420 in the chat today. Nice to see you, buddy. We got to have you on again for some sort of strain review. We got to get into what he's growing. Have you ever met Sebastian, man? He's a pretty phenomenal fella.
No, I think I'm pretty sure I would recognize his face though. If I saw it.
You'd recognize his accent. I'm not good at accents, and I don't want to butcher it, but I wonder if like Sebastian makes my accent sometimes. Like I wonder if there's people out there making fun of my accent.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, and if there is, like, if there's people out there that can make my accent and talk like me, I would love to hear it because I get a good kick out of it. Recently, people were online making fun of my droopy eyebrows up here.
You got some droopy eyebrows?
Oh, look at them, man. Look at the eyes, bud. They're like, I need to lift these up, bud. I'll need an eye lift at some point in my life.
You need to grow your hair out. I just saw something on like TikTok or something like that. If you grow the hair out and then take the front hair and kind of pull it back and then tie it back, it'll kind of give you
I can't be doing that, man. I can't be doing that. But listen, man, we got to get you growing some fast bud genetics. So we're going to play. We're going to play a little game. I've got 6 of my favorite strains. We're going to do a this or that. And we're going to get Heather to send you some of these genetics if we got them. I don't know if we do. You ever just do something you don't even know if you're allowed to do it?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, man. We're doing that right now. This is this or that, man. So these two, I had a chance to grow both of these strains, man. The Blue Dream Auto or the Blackberry Auto, man. Which one are you leaning towards? Like, which one are you thinking? Why the Blue Dream, man? Like, what makes you go there?
So, all right. So something, I guess, with me and like my relationship with the plant is like, I'm generally looking for something. I suffer from some anxiety and depression, and I've heard that Blue Dream can be like a nice uplifting high that kind of combats that kind of thing. So I'm not too familiar with the Blackberry, but just from the two, I've heard good things about the Blue Dream, especially and for that side of things. So that's the one that I go for.
That would probably cover that base for you based on my experience with it. Now, one of my problems, man, and this is with like life, I think in general, is like I love shiny things, and like the Blackberry Auto has so much more color in it, right? Like the Blue Dream's like that hoodie that you constantly put on, you always put it on over time and time, and then this other one is that fancy one, man, that you put on for special occasions, right? Like I'm driven to like these weird colors now and trying to like find unique terpene profiles, but I like how you're like more on like the medicated side, man. So like, how long
Definitely,
have you grown for?
yeah.
How long have you smoked for? Sorry.
Yeah. So I got out of the Marine Corps 2016, and essentially the day me and a buddy, we were stationed overseas together. We got out from Camp Pendleton, San Diego, and rented a truck, drove up to LA. One of our buddies we were stationed with overseas, he was still overseas, but he's just such a fucking cool guy. Shout out to Ryan Tamouche. And he got in touch with his parents, and his parents like cooked us a dinner, and so we got to go over there to get a dinner, and then like he has some buddies, and they dropped off a baggie with a few joints for us at the front door. So like we got done getting all fat and happy, and then walk outside, and there's some fucking baggie of joints sitting there for us. And so essentially, dude, that was the day after I got out. So the day after I got out, I started smoking. So yeah, that was like over 6 years ago now, and it's also kind of interesting, I guess. My relationship, I smoked like by myself a lot, and it opened me up like nothing has ever done before. I've always kind of been like a more shy, less talkative individual, and just like not really like, I guess, comfortable or like creative in my own skin. Never thought of myself as a creative person. And then I started, getting into a relationship with a plant, and dude, it opened up something inside of me that I had no fucking clue was there. Like once again, like remember I told you back in, I was not a good high school student, right?
Yeah.
I started like getting fascinated with fucking the brain, and so I went to fucking school and got a degree in neuroscience, man. Like, and I really think that that's like mainly because of the plant, like because it just opened up this whole different side of creativity and just curiosity, and that I didn't know existed. And I realized, oh, I'm actually not a fucking idiot. Like there actually is like something inside of me that's decently smart, but it's really just like curiosity, essentially,
It is, man. And I think it kind of sparks that in us, man. Like these two strains here, I still have a little bit of these both left. And the kosher cake, that's one that like really like makes me do like some silliness, man. And like some of your reels, like you can tell that deep down, and I experienced it. Sorry. I experienced it in Vegas. Like, we essentially went to the strip as strangers, and we left the strip as, like, basically just bros, man. Like, there was just this
100%.
awesome... like, we knew that we were going to be buddies, man. We knew we were going to hang out. We knew we were going to meet at these events. And I think we're going to have a really cool relationship, because there's going to be periods of time where we don't talk, and then when we come back to talk, and we're just going to be buddies again, right? Because we have so much in common. So these are two strains that are really going to make you creative. So out of the blueberry auto or the kosher cake auto, which one do you think you're leaning towards here?
Dude, just because you said like the silliness and whatnot, I'm going to go with the kosher cake. And dude, to be honest, growing auto scares me. I tried 3 like late last year. And just between like a bunch of traveling, and I didn't have like a good kind of care system set up while I was gone at home, none of them made it. So I'm kind of scared to grow autos, to be honest. But if I had to, I'd pick that kosher cake.
Yeah, man, 100%. The key to autos, man, is just getting a good start, man, and getting everything dialed in. Now, when you're making your reels, man, like, do you have help? Like, is Chloe helping you? Is she jumping on the? It is Chloe, right? Like I'm saying the right name.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah,
okay. I thought it was like I'm like.
No.
She's pretty powerful woman. Like the way that she like carries herself. She said she's doing. I'm pumped for her. Anyways, not about her right now. I'm pumped for her though. Listen, this one here, Gorilla Punch Auto, Amnesia Skittles Auto. I'm not even going to tell you about either one of them. If you pick the wrong one, we're not going to be friends anymore, man.
I'm picking the Gorilla.
Damn right, man. Nice, nice, man. Man, the Gorilla Punch Auto is literally one of my favorite strains. Gorilla Cookies is my number 1 strain, but 3 of our guys, 3 of the growers from Fast Buds, they just went to the American Autoflower Cup, and we took away top 3 prizes, man, both in indica and sativa. Yeah, and the cool thing about this, man, is these guys are home growers just like us. Like the longest guy's been growing for 5 years. The other guys, the longest guy was growing for 20 years. But he recently just started growing autoflowers, man, and they're killing it, man. So We're gonna have to get
Dude,
some of
that's
these
amazing.
packs sent off to
Yeah,
you, bud.
from looking at like terpene profiles and whatnot, I can't remember which ones, but I remember the gorilla sticking out is one that I think is just good for kind of me and my how my body works.
Yeah, but I know a question I was asking you there before I started talking about Chloe. So does she help you with filming? Like, do you have help?
She does a little bit, but most of the time it's just me. Vast majority of the time it's just me.
And then are you doing all your editing yourself too, man?
As of recently, no. So like here and there I'll do like a few, but essentially I just kind of shoot raw footage and then send it out to the team and they piece it together. So which is a huge help. That makes things so much easier.
Go away, man. We'd have to chat about that. I need to figure out something like that. I have so much content right now readily available in front of me, but it's like I only have so much time to put it together.
There's the bottleneck, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's tough. A one-man team is probably the hardest thing to achieve. I love the content you guys are pumping out, and specifically the way that you guys edit your Fog and Grow series. Like whoever was doing that originally was pretty good, but you're telling me you're going to get an even better editor, an even newer editor.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, that's sick. I'm excited to go on that again. You guys got to have me back on again.
Oh, gladly.
So over on YouTube, guys, you guys can find Ben over here on the Fog and Grow YouTube channel right here. Episode every Thursday. This can change, guys. We're brand new. We try to do it every week, but sometimes we just don't get it done, do we?
That's true. We're trying. You
can find them over here, Fog and Grow over on Instagram. Also, Petra Tools over on Instagram. What's this old fella's name again? Sorry to call you an old fella.
You're good.
Scott. Listen, man, I love your shit, Scott. If you're watching this, I love your stuff, man. I want to meet him someday. Can I meet him someday? Is he close to you? Like, where does he live?
He's in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yeah, I need to meet him someday too. He is awesome, man. And he's probably got a pretty cool story. Like, he was probably same as us. Never expect to be doing something like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you met this fella?
He actually does have a unique story. He's so one, I guess, unique place where the company kind of fits in. One of the founders, the uncle Andy, he used to be a house parent. You've heard of Hershey chocolate before, right? Yeah. So a lot of people don't know this, but Hershey is actually a town in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know that.
A theme park. Yeah, there's all this kind of stuff there. It was all started by this guy, Milton Hershey. And it's all owned by this school. So there's this school for kids that are like disadvantaged, essentially. Like for whatever reason, they're not set up for success. So they can, their parents can apply essentially for them to go there. And it's a residency school. So they're there the whole time. They have housing and whatnot. And they have these house parents that act as their kind of parents while they're at the school. And so Andy, one of the founders, he used to be a house parent before he started getting into Amazon and then starting this business. And then Scott actually currently is a house parent. So he still does that. Cool. So he's doing all this kind of content stuff on the side.
That's awesome, man. He seems like just a genuinely good, kind-hearted fella, man. I feel like I'm beginning to like, the more time that I spend online, the more that I can kind of read somebody through a screen and like feel them through like tone and inflection and delivery, and just by like repetitive being in front of them and interacting with them. I'm starting to be able to tell who's kind of true and who's not. And you can tell that guy's a real good character, man. He's got a good personality. I'm excited to see where he brings his stuff, because he's got really cool gardening techniques. He's got great energy, man. It's going to be exciting to see where he can bring his channel. And it's just nice to see you guys have good people like that with Petra Tools, man. So how did you find your guys like connecting with cool creators, man? Like, you guys really take this weird approach where you guys are a content creation tool company, man. Like, it's interesting. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have really good content.
Thank you. So business is changing, and like marketing and how kind of like where the most value can be gained. And we think kind of where that is shifting is to be in the community and provide value to the community and like actually give a shit about the community. So that's essentially kind of like where we're trying to, put our money is on the community, and like kind of having that presence.
I think it's smart,
trying
man.
to provide that value and listen. You
I
know?
think what happens with most people is we run out of time so much, but we love consuming content. So, like, I just got these 2 humidifiers, and I took both of my pamphlets or the instructions. I tossed those. I went right to YouTube. I searched it, and I learned it from a guy that already learned it, right? And I think
Yep.
that's what's really neat about all of us on here and all of us on Instagram and YouTube and podcasts like Canaflix and Fog and Grow is we're all trying to just share this love for this plant that we really didn't even know could be this, right? Like it just became free recently, like, and it's
Yeah.
still locked up in some states, right? So it's gonna be cool to
100%.
see where we bring this, Ben, man. Like, what's up next for Petra? Anything cool coming up that people should be aware of? Who's the next guest on Fog and Grow? Anything like that we can tell them before they leave?
Yeah, we actually have this veteran coming on tomorrow. The episode won't be out for a minute. Elton from Boots to Buds, which is this Facebook group that veterans can go to and essentially get mentoring, get equipment, get genetics, get everything they would need to go set up their grow. And actually, so my run that I just finished up was a tester from him that had there's this breeder in the group called Judah. And he's created his own strain, Judah's Breath. And so this test was that crossed with Santa Cruz Blue Dream. So like, yeah, just getting connected with him. He actually, he created another strain called Project 22. I don't know if you heard about this before, but every single day, about 22 military veterans in the U.S. killed themselves. So the Project 22 is this strain is a cross of this Judah's Breath and Veterans Kush, and super terpy, and it's just, dude, it was some of the best stuff that I ever smoked.
Man, the process for veterans, man, is so sad. Like it's like we make these men like our strongest men, man, to go like battle for us and to keep us safe, and they've got to be a unique soul to even want to do that. Number one, to like protect human beings like us that fuck up all the time, right? Like,
Sure.
it's big faith to them, right? But then like they get back and they're done. There's no fucking program for them at all, man. Like they don't teach them anything. They no longer train them. And like the weird thing about these guys is like not to compare them to like a workhorse, but like essentially they're a human version of a workhorse. They know repetitive tasks. They know how to go in and excel on things. And like they run their mind and their bodies full tilt this whole fucking time. And I'm talking about like these well-trained, like high-end soldiers that are killing themselves because they've seen the most, right? Most of the time. Most of the time
like
it's
those guys
them,
are
right?
just the special forces and just that are, those top tier operators. Essentially, those are the guys most of the time that are getting really fucked up. And
yeah, man.
It's crazy because like they can, execute at such a high level, but like I guess we don't account for it, especially because like we're masculine men, right? We can't show weakness, but like that weakness is absolutely hitting our brains and our minds with trauma, and like that shit adds up, and you try to hide it then, and it just fucking slowly destroys you silently until you fucking kill yourself, and like that's what happens over and over again. And it's fucking sad, and like it's weird because like you don't even have to see a lot of combat or something like that to get fucked up. Like for me, when I exited the military, I went through a fucking deep depression because I went from having like, dog, I had a really fucking cool job, actually. I got to guard embassies and consulates overseas. So I was in Abu Dhabi for a year, this weird West African country called Mauritania for a year, and then Shanghai, China for my last one. And so like I had all this purpose and this meaning, and I went from, and like this really strong core group of people, and I went from all of that to the nothing and having all that stripped away. And like that fucking took a toll. And like I was deployed to Afghanistan for a little bit. I didn't see combat though or anything crazy, but there's still just like a lot of harm that's done. It's not intentional, of course, but like we don't have good systems set up into place, and so it leads, like, you have other vets like this guy we're having on the show on Monday who comes up with this strain that it's helping a lot of people, and it's new and it hasn't really gotten that far out there yet, but if you or anyone else wants to grow it, he said to me before he's open he just kind of wants to get out there, get more people growing it. So if
Yeah, I
anyone
think
wants to
that's
grow
so
some of
cool,
it,
man.
let me know and I can hook you up with him. But yeah, so it's just a cool kind of a cool strain that he's developed that seems to kind of be really, really good for anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, PTSD, stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to them, man. I think a lot of people in the cannabis industry are really trying to help out the veterans. Not that the cannabis is the answer for everything, but for some of
Right.
these guys, for their pain and for their agony and depression and anxiety, it's definitely worth an option to try, right? So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool, Ben, man. It was a pleasure to have you on, brother. I'm excited to see that show come to light. Huge shout out to the chat. They're loving you, man. Loving your atmosphere. I think we could probably talk for another hour, but we got Heather for an hour in the chat. But big shout out to Heather. Big shout out to the chat. Big shout out to our top 3 winners here, guys, that just won the Autoflower Cup. We've got Free
Hell
Grows 8. We got Good Buddy Flowers, and we got Chubbs. And I just pulled them out of my mind, man. So I'm not as high as you guys think I am. That's it for me, guys. That's Ben from Petra Tools. This has been your week episode of Canaflix. Make sure you subscribe, guys. Make sure you share my content. The bigger we get this, the bigger we can make the cannabis community in all general. I love you guys. That's it for me. Have a good Sunday.
Later.